Hi class, my name is Harmony Kim. I'm the instructor who will teach the course Pastoral Counseling for Buddhist Ministry in the spring 2022. The course code of this class is ABIRD 401. Please remember the course code because you need to write down course code to every assignment. Let's look at the syllabus first. This course will be conducted in remote online platform. This course provides basic knowledge and skills in counseling and in group dynamics in order that students gain skills in dealing with the needs of the community both individually and communally. Upon completion of this course, each student will be able to explore Buddhist approaches to the work of pastoral counseling and the role of the ministry. Also, students can identify the notion of the Buddhist pastoral counselor as the spiritual friend. And students can provide an overview and introduction to the principle and method of pastoral care, integrating Buddhist teachings and meditation practices. Instructional delivery written in this slide is based on in-person classroom platform. You are in asynchronous online class platform. Therefore, you will take some of instructional delivery from this slide. For example, the instructional technique may be employed audio-visual presentations. So you will have lecture video weekly base. Also, sometimes I attach articles which is related to the topic, so students can read those articles as reference point. Required textbook for this course is Anguttara Nikaya, Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, and Samyutta Nikaya. Those are Pali Canon, and you can access this Pali Canon freely in the internet. Since this course is online class, you can communicate with me by email. Here is my email address. Students must send the above email the weekly base assignment. I give you weekly base assignment such as quiz. So you need to write down the quiz answer and send your email to me. When you send the email to me, you need to write down the subject title of the email such as BIRD 401 assignment on date. School suggests instructor use date prior to number of week. So please include the date of that assignment. If you have any question in addition to the assignment, please send me email with the subject title, additional question of BIRD 401 on the email. It is possible to reach me by email at any time and you will get response from me within 48 hours during weekdays. Every week you have a routine process. You watch lecture video and at the end of lecture video, there are quiz questions. You write down quiz answer and send to my email. And this activity is repeated weekly base until the end of this term, except midterm and lecture final. So just in case if students keep asking the information which I have been clearly addressed in the lecture video, I might not respond or delay replying. So you might get the reply from me maybe later than 48 hours. But probably you will not have many questions because you are engaging in routine process in weekly base. I reserve the right to change or modify any or the entire syllabus, and I will notify students of any changes. Attendance policy written in this slide is also based on the in-person classroom platform. But Still, you have attendance policy in online course. Regular and punctual attendance as well as active student participation is an important part of students' education. Attendance is strictly monitored. All missed assignment and or additional assignment must be completed according to the professor's guideline. Students may not miss more than 70% of a class session. 3 consecutive absences require formal notice. So you're supposed to send weekly based quiz to me. If you miss sending weekly based assignment for 3 consecutive weeks, then your grade will be downregulated. And if you miss weekly based quiz more than 5 or 6 times, then your grade will be below C. Let me reiterate the participation policy. Each student is expected to be an active participant in submitting weekly based assignment to my email. Your class participation grade will reflect the quality and consistency of your contributions. Mere attendance does not represent participation. Frequent absences will severely impact your participation grade. And when you look at this bottom part of this slide, the left side shows the example of your assignment on first week. So here's my email address. When you send the assignment, please include your email address in CC. And the subject title is Board 401 quiz and include date. You can write down assignment, that's fine. In the main body of the text, you need to write down your official name. Write down your official last name, comma, followed by your official first name. Please do not use your nickname. If you do not use official name, then you will have trouble in getting final grade. And the right panel is the example of submitting assignment in week 2. So the first week, today, you do not have any quiz question. You only write down your official name, write down your official last name, comma, followed by your official first name in the main text body of email. That is your first week assignment. But next week, in week 2, you will watch lecture video, and at the end of lecture video, you will have 2 or 3 quiz questions. For the assignment of week 2, you need to write down your official name again. Last name, comma, followed by your first name, and below that, you just write down answer of quiz. So quiz 1, answer A, quiz 2, answer C, quiz 3, answer D, something like that. And please do not make attachment file when you send the weekly assignment. The content of your weekly assignment is simple. It's not worthwhile producing attachment file. Just use main text body of email. Let's look at academic integrity. Each student must do his or her own work. Copying assignment will be considered cheating and all parties will be penalized. Please do not wait until the last minute to do your assignment. The due date of weekly based assignment is Sunday midnight. And the rest content of academic integrity is related to in-person classroom platform. Let's look at the bottom part of academic integrity. You need to submit short essay in the midterm as well as in lecture final. If any part of an assignment represent the words and ideas of others, you must cite those sources. Academic dishonesty includes, but is not limited to, asking a tutor or a friend to complete a portion of your assignment, or hiring a reviewer to make extensive revisions to your assignment, or submitting work originally submitted by another student as your own, or using information from online resources without properly citing your source. So you have to provide direct or indirect citation for your writing source. Also, copying any portion of a word or idea from any other source you do not cite. So you have to use your own words when you reiterate others' ideas. Let me tell you assignment one more time. Assignment or quiz will be announced through lecture videos. The due date of each assignment is until Sunday midnight of following week because this course is supposed to open on Monday. All work must be turned in on the due date by email. No late submission will be accepted. When you send the assignment or quiz weekly base, you must put your email on CC so that you can keep the copy of every email of submitting the assignment. In the body of the email, you need to write down your official name, last name, comma followed by first name, because many students use their email name different from official name. You have to write down your official name in main text body of email to every weekly assignment. All essay assignment must be typed. So you will have an essay question in the midterm or lecture final, and your answer of essay assignment must be typed, not handwriting. Here is the grade policy. Homework assignment quiz. So the number of submission of weekly based quiz occupy 30% and midterm 30%, lecture final 40%, total 100%. If your performance reaches between 90 to 100%, you will get A grade. Between 80 to 89%, you will get B. Between 70 to 79%, you will get C. Between 60 to 69, D, and below 60%, you will get F grade. This is overall course schedule, although it is tentative. You will have one midterm sometime in May, and you will have lecture final on June. You will have a holiday on Memorial Day, and the course begins today, April 1st, and ends on June 13th. This is the end of going over the syllabus. For the rest of this video, I will introduce Buddhist ministry. Ministers tend to the religious need of a particular faith group or sangha. The ministers engage in various forms of pastoral work. How has the Buddha role as the minister? To figure out, we will trace up how the Buddha preached to whom. You will study the beginning stage of Buddhist ministry while the Buddha was alive. So while the Buddha was an unenlightened bodhisattva, so the Buddha was a human being, and the Buddha needed to practice to be fully awakened. Before he fully awakened, the Buddha, we call Buddha was an bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is very close to get fully enlightened, but not yet fully awakened. So it's kind of a practicing period. So while the Buddha was an unenlightened bodhisattva, the Buddha studied with Alana Kalama and Udaka Lamaputta. They are ascetics. They are Brahmin ascetics. So, actually, the Buddha learned a lot about meditation from these Alama Kalama and Udaka Lamaputta, two ascetics. Gautama Siddhartha was disappointed with the teaching by these two teachers because the Buddha realized very little likelihood to attain fully awakening in this life. So, Buddha wanna fully awakened in this life, not after death. But Gautama Siddhartha realized that once Gautama followed these two teachers' instruction, his enlightenment might occur after death, but he wanna be fully awakened in this life. So Gautama Siddhartha doubted and refused to follow these two teachers' instructions. Why? Because Gautama Siddhartha thought that this dharma does not lead to disenchantment, to dispassion, to cessation, to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to nibbana, but only to reappearance in the base of nothingness. Also, Gautama Siddhartha thought that this dharma does not lead to disenchantment, to dispassion, to cessation, to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to nibbana, but only to reappearance in the base of neither perception nor non-perception. The cause of suffering might disappear, so temporarily stay peaceful, quiet state. But this suffering come back again. This suffering, the passion, enchantment, all kinds of mental affliction can reappear in the different mental realm. Gautama Siddhartha wanna reach certain state which completely disenchanted, dispassions, fully ceased the suffering. Therefore, Gautama Siddhartha finally declined to follow these two teachers' instruction. So the Buddha practiced by his own way, and he reached fully awakened. Once the Buddha became fully awakened, the Buddha wanted to teach Alana Kalama and Udaka Ramaputta, his teachers, first. First, he want to teach them, his previous teacher, not previous, his teacher, but these two ascetics already passed away. In case of Alana Kalama, passed away 7 days ago before the Buddha fully awakened. And Udaka Lamaputta passed away 1 day earlier than the Buddha fully awakened. It's been wondered why the Buddha chose his previous teachers first for his teaching. Maybe these two ascetics were very close to be fully enlightened, but need one last instruction to lead disenchantment, dispassion, and cessation, so that these enchantment, passion, and suffering not reappear in any mental realm. In other words, the Buddha knows the discrepancy between Brahmanism and Buddhism with respect to the expedient approach to reach the ultimate goal, Nibbana, in this life. His two previous teachers were very close to reach Nibbana, but one last step, one last instruction required to reach the ultimate goal. Otherwise, this enchantment, passion, and suffering will come back again, and then we have no way to get out of the circle of life, suffering of life. The Buddha refused to teach at the beginning after his awakening. In other words, even though the Buddha wanted to teach his two teachers, the Buddha did not want to teach at the beginning after his awakening, but great compassion made him change his mind. He already knew, he already realized the truth. When he looked at other sentient beings really in the circle of suffering, he felt, oh, so sad and compassion them. Then, okay, I will teach them. Therefore, they can fully enlightened, they can liberate themselves. So the Buddha's teaching career began with full of loving kindness to all sentient beings. So, who the Buddha taught first? Once the Buddha became fully awakened, the first ascetic wanderer the Buddha met was Ajivaka Upaka. And Ajivaka Upaka asked the Buddha the question, "Who is your teacher?" The Buddha replied, "I have no teacher and one like me. I am the teacher supreme." And Ajivaka Upaka, also ascetics, once this ascetic listened Buddha's answer, he shook his head and proceeded on his way. In other words, Ajivaka Upaka doubted the Buddha's answer. "Oh, I do not believe you are the teacher supreme." And he just ignored the Buddha and go his way. So Ajivaka Upaka missed to listen to any Dharma taught by the Buddha. This appears in Majjhima Nikaya. Then the Buddha approached his 5 old pigs. So in the past, Gautama Siddhartha practiced with other pigs together, other 5 ascetics together. And the main practice the Gautama Siddhartha engaged at the beginning was self-mortification. And this self-mortification led his physical condition ruined. So his physical status became extremely weak. And at the time, one woman provided milk to Gautama Siddhartha, and then Gautama Siddhartha received and drank the milk. And then, once 5 old ascetics saw that situation, then these 5 old ascetics judged that the Gautama Siddhartha, you live luxuriously. And 5 old ascetics left Gautama Siddhartha. So, 5 old ascetics judged Gautama Siddhartha to abandon striving. The Buddha expressed his intention to instruct 5 old ascetics then by saying this way, "Listen, pigus, the deathless has been obtained from the home life into homelessness. Deathless. Maybe ascetics believe in that you can reach fully enlightened after death. But the Buddha reached the deathless in this life, not after passed away. The 5 ascetics replied, "Since you live luxuriously, having given up your striving and reverted to luxury, how will you have achieved any superhuman state, any distinction in knowledge and vision worthy of the noble ones?" And Majjhima Nikaya Sutra describe a circumstance in which the Buddha taught them. They provide detailed description regarding how the Buddha taught them. So if we are interested, then you can find Majjhima Nikaya, the first chapter, 172. Then you can find the detailed process stating how the Buddha determined to preach 5 previous ascetics. I write down 5 bhikkhus. Eventually, these 5 ascetics listen to Buddha's sermon, then they become 5 bhikkhus. The Buddha gave a preaching in a manner of 2 or 3 bhikkhus together, depending on the rotation for alms round. So 5 bhikkhus listen to Buddha's preaching, maybe taking not just 1 hour, maybe need to pass the lunch time. And then in Theravada Buddhism, early Buddhism, they need to go out alms round for lunch. Therefore, 2 or 3 bhikkhus go out, and the leftover 2 or 3 bhikkhus listen to the Buddha's sermon. They attained knowledge and declare their last birth after being instructed by the Buddha, indicating that there were 6 enlightened ones in this world, including the Buddha. So 5 bhikkhus, they become fully enlightened once they listen to the sermon by the Buddha. Then include 1 more, Gautama Siddhartha, already fully enlightened. So there are 6 enlightened ones at that time. After expounding the Dharma to the 5 bhikkhus in Benares, Benares is the location in India, the followers reached 60 and the Buddha said, in other words, once followers, it could be ascetics, it could be lay followers, they listen to Buddha's preaching, then they become fully enlightened. So the followers maybe first 5 and it increased in 60s. At the time, the Buddha says to his follower, walk, monk, on tour for the blessing of the manifold, for the happiness of the manifold out of compassion for the world, for the welfare, the blessing, the happiness of devas and man. Let not 2 of you go by one way. Monks teach Dharma, which is lovely at the beginning, lovely in the middle, lovely at the ending. This description appears in Vinaya Pitaka. You can see, let not 2 of you go by one way. So, when you provide Buddha's teaching to other people, go by yourself like a rhinoceros. So just keep in mind, let not 2 of you go by one way. So 60 followers, they will go somewhere else to provide Buddha's teaching. Do not go same way. And do not go 2 of you go by one way. The Buddhist missionaries were dispatched and they went like a rhinoceros. The Buddha provided gradual teachings to them, and the candidate who attained the stream entrance became ordained, otherwise remained as lay followers. So stream entrance means just entering the path in which lead to the Nibbana. In order to follow the path to lead to the Nibbana, you have to accommodate with certain precept and practice, so that just walk through that passageway, then you will reach certain stage. The beginning stage, we call that stream entrance. And the next stage is once returner. The next stage is no returner. And the final stage is fully enlightened Arahant or Nirvana. So stream entrance means just the beginning stage of ordination. If some followers decide not to be ordained, then they remain as lay followers. But they are also part of disciples, Buddhist followers. So there are 4 groups: Pigu, Piguni, male lay followers, female lay followers. They all of them, we group them together called Sangha. The member of Sangha can go any way to preach Buddhist idea and Buddhist teachings. Monastics and lay followers had their own precepts, some of which were overlap. So the precepts which must be kept by monastics are different from the precepts kept by lay followers. But some of them are overlap, such as do not kill the living being. Do not steal the things which are not belong to you, etc. As a fully enlightened one continued to teach his followers during his journey, 1,250 pigus accompanied the Buddha. The more and more followers increase. Gombrich, he is a very famous Buddhist scholar, stated that 1,250 pigus accompanied the Buddha. It was inevitable to form the Buddhist community composed of pigus, piguni, male and female lay followers called the Sangha. The candidate decided to enter the order was presented with a ceremony of admission to enter the Sangha and eventually became a forest dweller, that is, homelessness. The significance of the existence of the Sangha lies in not only a role of practicing together and educating lay people, but also it plays a role of preserving the Buddha's teachings up to a contemporary era without dying them out. This kind of system can hardly be found in other religions in the world. The Buddha is really smart. He wanna preserve Buddha's teaching and he invent a certain way to avoid removing Dharma out. Therefore, he stayed by his mouth, set up the Sangha. This kind of system cannot be found in other religions. This is the beauty of Buddhism, and because of Sangha, the Buddhist teachings continue and will not disappear. The Sangha was organized as a community quite unlike the Jainis and other renouncers, Brahmanis, uniquely well organized to preserve not only a way of life, but also a body of scripture in an age before writing was known or at least widely used. This means Buddha's teaching was not preserved as a writing at the beginning. The writing system was not very well developed while Buddha was alive. Therefore, these arahants, they memorize Buddha's sermon verbally, and then later they can be recorded on a paper. Therefore, we can access them by the book. That's why a body of scripture in an age before writing was known. So ascetics reciter and memorize that, and then nowadays we can access written record of reciter of ascetics. So formation, founding the Sangha, this is important to preserve the Buddha's teaching down the road. How may the Buddha transform his followers? What kind of teaching Buddha provide to his followers? These kinds of things will be covered in this course, and more detail, his teachings will be introduced in the next week. And this is the end of lecture, and here's announcement of first week assignment. You need to send me the email as follow and include your email address in CC and write subject title, Bird 401 and the date, April 4. Please write down your official name, your official last name, comma, followed by first name. And do not swap the position of last name and first name. Do not use the nickname when you submit the assignment. Sending me the email of your official name will be counted your attendance of the first week of Bird 401. The due of week 1 assignment is April 11th, Sunday midnight. And here's an example of the format you need to make first assignment. So my email address, include your email address, subject title, Bird 401, April 4, your official name, last name, comma, followed by first name. Should be official name. And please write down your official name in every weekly quiz assignment. Okay, write your official name in the main body of email and do not generate the attachment file for the quiz. According to your official name, I will generate the roster, and this roster will appear in your final grade. Thank you.